Hey, what's up? It's another episode of Watch You Strappin. These are not watch reviews, they're just quick wristwatch check of the day with a strap of choice on something aftermarket usually. Anyways, this is back on my Longines Weems Pilot Watch. This is a reference L2.606.4. This is a limited edition, I believe, of about only 1,000 pieces total. And it was I believe a Japan market exclusive release, limited edition. So yeah, this came out back in the mid 90s. I believe 1995, 1993, somewhere around there. It's a pretty cool, very accurate and faithful, reissue of their World War II pilot watches that the RAF and even I believe the United States also had some of these watches back then. And just look them up. The Weems Pilot Watches of World War II, pretty famous. And a version of this was worn by Tom Hardy as RAF pilot in the Christopher Nolan movie Dunkirk, but it was made by Omega. And besides Longines and Omega, the total of 5 manufacturers back then were JLC, JLC, Movado, and Zenith. Were the ones that made this general style of pilot watches back then. So that's a pretty good company of Swiss brands right there, right? And it's, I think it's really cool to see this. And it is very faithful. It is small, 33 millimeters, but that was the accurate size back then. And in fact, I believe that was even the larger version. I believe maybe originally, if I did my homework correctly, earlier versions may have been as small as 27 millimeters. So 33 was bigger, and I'm glad they went up. It would be cool if they had made this a little bit larger for modern size, but for really faithful reproduction of a Weems style pilot watch, this is it. They have another version. This is manual wound. They have another version that's automatic, somewhat similar, like this off-white sector dial with silver, like the center part here, but the numerals are different. It actually has lume, so the Arabics are a bit more outlined, and they have different style handsets. I don't think they're blued either, which I really like about this one. It's got really nice thermally blued hands, as you can see here. There's no lume, but that's all right. I think I like this overall version more, and the crowns and the secondary crowns in a different position, and it's a little bit larger. I think it's 36 millimeters, which is, I think for more people it's more wearable, but I didn't like that because it also has a date window, which if they didn't throw in a date, I might even have considered it more. But that I didn't like that in particular. Anyways, we're talking about straps here, right? So this, I don't remember the brand. If you need, I'll see if I can include it in the description or the title of this video. But I got it off of Amazon. It's from a seller off of Amazon that's, I believe, in Poland. I think it came out from there. That's where I recall the shipping coming out or originating from. And it's not too expensive. The spun style strap is about less than $20, I think, plus shipping and stuff. Maybe it's around there, but it's what I was looking for was to help let me pull back a little bit, help give a little bit better presence on wrist, because 33 is small, but my wrist is about 7 inches. I think it can pull it off. You just have to get acclimated. At least I have to get acclimated to the proportional differences with that I'm used to. But when you give it some time and you recognize the context of this watch, it's fine. But to give it a little bit more, I figure a Bund strap would be perfect. You got that extra, padded leather piece that's in between your wrist and the strap and the watch head. And I didn't want anything too thick and wide. I usually don't like Bund straps, to be honest. They usually seem a bit bulky and add a little too much to the watch and maybe even to height. But what I've had experience in the past and what I was looking for was a Bund strap that was one the leather is thinner than normal than maybe some of the other ones out there, and both on the strap as well as the leather panel or piece that's in between, just to keep the look profile lower, something that wasn't too wide across, especially on this watch. I don't want that much leather on the left or right side of the case. Keep it as slim as possible. That also helps make the watch look a little bit bigger. It doesn't look, if I had too much leather on either side, I could think that would kind of slightly defeat the purpose of trying to make the watch look a little bit more substantial on wrist. So just kept it nice and as tight as possible. I do have another strap that I've had in the past, which is just a straight, doesn't even expand out around the case. It goes straight, and so the case actually overhangs the strap a bit. It's similar to, and I got inspired by this idea too, is there's an Oris Pilot Watch. It's like the 1914 or something like that. It's a very classic style. It has wire lugs, if I recall. No running seconds, and it has this weird pusher locking button that's on above the crown around the 2 o'clock. It's a feature that they had that's supposed to help you not accidentally mess up the time. I think you're supposed to depress that button and then you can set the time. It's kind of an odd one, but it's a very handsome watch. I believe it has cathedral style hands. It also was pretty small too. I think it was no more than 36 millimeters, and I was really close to getting it. It's a little bit pricey. It's a limited edition, but very close. It was a handsome watch, but yeah, I just didn't like the fact that didn't have any running seconds hand, and that kept me from it, for one thing. I don't like a watch that look too static on the wrist without its presence, just without anything moving at all. I like to have a running seconds. So, but I did really like the way that Bund strap was done on that, and that's got me inspired to have something that wasn't too wide, for one thing, like left to right of the case, and preferably something thin and just doesn't look too bulky. And I think why I would also go with this to help this watch get some extra wrist presence. Hang on, let me adjust my sleeve here. Is the fact that this watch, not being that wide and being it's pretty slim. I forget the measurements, but I'm pretty sure it's like under 9 millimeters or something, or 8, something like that. It's a pretty slim watch. It's a mechanical wind movement, and so all that combined, it won't look that big and bulky with a Bund strap, and I think it does its job pretty well. And you can see, yeah, it got some extra layer, but it's not that tall, and so it looks good, I think. And so I'm pretty pleased with this. I think the leather matches, but they do come in other colors. I might go back and get a set in black, and as well as they have like a darker brown too. I mean, they don't cost that much, so it might be worth it to do that. I might actually go through Vario as well. Is it Vario? Oh, no. They do have some Bund strap, but that's not one thing. Actually, Dan Henry, they actually have a watch that has like the small and kind of retro style too, like something from World War I period or something. It's almost like a trench watch, if I'm not mistaken. And they have Bund straps for that are 16 millimeters, and actually a wide variety of colors too. But they do cost quite a bit more than this. This was, I want to say it was around $17 or $18, which is not bad. I think it's pretty decent. It's soft, it's comfortable, it does what I wanted to. I don't know how thick those are, how those compare, the Dan Henry ones, and they are about, I want to say roughly 40, maybe $45 or something each. So it's quite a bit more, and I don't know. But they do have some differences. Like they have some others, like more visible contrast stitching on some of them. Some of them are just matching the leather color too. But we'll get to that in some other day if I do get to that. And I think I want to pick up a set of Halverston. They have like these canvas pilot watches. It's not pilot straps, I guess, that has the rivets, and they make a special set that are actually 16 millimeters too. And those I think that could look really cool in this watch, since it's a pilot watch. And I will likely maybe be putting an order for that. But I really like this watch. I was about to return it. I thought maybe it was too small, but it turns out to be all right. I got used to the size, and I just thought, this is really cool. It's something different. Somebody looks at this in the collection, and it's not about what I think about what other people think, but it does. In some ways, I would think some of you, at least us as collectors and enthusiasts, would like to have to tell a story and about not only the watches that you collect, but about you as a collector, what your interests are, and just the choices that you make. And I think this would be a very cool and interesting one as part of the conversation and all that. And that's about it. I know I went off a bit. I like providing some more information other than just the strap. If you're interested for some reason in something like this is, I don't find too many 16 millimeters, at least. And also it has to be something that doesn't really taper too. See, this is just a straight leather band that runs through. It's like a single, it would be a single layer NATO, right? But of course that leather panel that it's on as a bund strap this puts that single layer through it. Another layer actually, but there is one that runs underneath, but it's a single pass basically. And that is important, especially for 16 millimeters, at least for a dude. I think if you start tapering a 16 millimeter, it really looks a bit too feminine for a guy's wrist. But if you keep it straight, it is passable, at least in my opinion. Of course, your taste and wrist size may vary accordingly, but I do think at least a straight 16 millimeters through will do a lot to keep the watch looking not too dainty. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your watches.